It's well into November and we've still got plenty of colour on Broad Street Field all the way along. Well, Derby Street play area should have been finished probably this week, but they've had a lot of problems with putting cement and stuff down and they couldn't do it in wet weather, so they're a bit behind. It's now Saturday and they've been up since the crack of dawn. So they've got the what's the name, the tennis court, basketball court, whatever you want to call it. See, the train's moved, it's in a different position than it was before. And the Sioux seem to be making up for it working Saturday, because they were very earlier Saturday morning. So it might be done by the end of the week if we're lucky. Well, we had the graffiti artists come out with some new stuff. I'm not exactly sure what it's all about, but it's near as the car park and the power station. Well, yeah, have a definite winner on the Battle of the Brickers. This end has now been done, so hopefully they can get the scaffolding down and start cracking on with the bus station. On the other end, they've still got a quarter of the way to go. So a distinct winner. I have got 7 people this side doing the bricking. I've just noticed the brown top there is higher than the white top round there. I don't know if there's any reason for that, but I've got to be finished this week, surely to God. And I said that as all the people, I can only see 2 working. Well, Delamere House is now virtually free of scaffolding. There's just a little bit at the bottom there, but all around it's all now scaffolding free, and they've got all nice new windows. I'll just get the worm cam out on the bus station. You can see there's not a lot going on, is there? Digger coming to dig. Well, Frankweb play area, and it's now been open for what, 2-3 weeks. Still the zip wire's closed. The one thing the kids would probably want the most, but the whirly thing there's open. Well, why that's closed, there's no sort of explanation as to why it's closed. Jack's very disappointed, he wanted to go. The only thing that springs to mind is that it's just mud underneath. So whether they're waiting to put safety surface in, that could be the answer. Along the Wood Lane we've got now Virgin Media digging the place up. So they put a big box there, and one great big hole. I think everyone's getting a bit fed up of people digging pavements up and what have you for the broadband. Well, Goddard Street, they've closed the road again, closed the footpath. The problem is they put these notices closed from, but they don't say until when. Normally you have to state when it's going to be closed for. Well, Limelights, they've now taken all the scaffolding down. It looks as though they were just doing the roof, so we would expect something else to happen in the very near future. They have left some holes where they had the scaffolding through the windows, which was really strange. Well, this new restaurant on the corner of Chester Street, they did a lot of work on it and now it seems to have come to a grinding halt, so I don't know what's happened with that. And by the library we've got another road closure. Christmas light switch on. We mustn't miss that, must we? Well, they have got a bit of a Christmas tree on by the municipal buildings, or half a Christmas tree, or a quarter, I don't know, but presumably this is going to be the spectacular Christmas lights. It looks as though the Lyceum's going to beat the council, because we've got 3 bits. That's the bottom bit, that goes on that, and then that goes on that, so it's a bit posher than the council one. These all go, but there's nothing you can sort of see. I've got a dozer on top of a big pile of dirt putting it into a big wagon, and there's no actual building you can see. A big pile of hardcore, but nothing actual building. When I was ever Cheshire East, there's nothing about this, so if you want to walk across from here to there, you better put your wellies on, haven't you? Well, it just gives some nice reflections with the tree there. Well, it's just useless, isn't it, the council? They're just not doing anything. For weeks and weeks this has now been a pile of rubbish, footpaths closed. So how long does it take them to actually get into action and make the place safe and open the flaming footpath? Now, whether this is Asda or Cheshire East, I would think it would be Cheshire East, but somebody needs to pull the finger out. The Lyceum's now got their Christmas tree up. And looking round, there's no actual fantastic lights anywhere other than that, but I think it's safe to say their tree is bigger and better than the council one round the corner. It's got Christmas presents on and stars and things. So can we say they've won? Well, inside the market we're getting very Christmassy. All the Christmas decorations, and we do have a young lady that's doing all these by hand. So it takes some doing, that does. Well, it is ready for Christmas. It is just worth mentioning the Mahonia. This Mahonia's gone mad. It's over 6 foot tall. So we have got plenty of colour ready for Christmas. Well, on the square the Christmas trees up in the Menning sheds. They've got their little box here, but nothing in it at the moment. We have got these lights up. So it's not the most spectacular thing you've ever seen, is it? But I suppose the main one's on the square, but at the moment there's no decoration. It does look good against the 2 trees in the background. They really do pop at this time of year. I'll go around the corner in a minute and see if the Lyceum's bettered it. We have got the big welcome to Christmas in Crewe light sign by NatWest. It's all these sort of icicle lights they're putting up. Not very spectacular, are they? But again, we do have the homeless people or person back in the hair and beauty. Well, on the square we've got the Christmas tree at long last. No decorations on it or fairy on the top. And there's a star on the top. We do have these, what do you call them, balls. And again they're very thin lights. Of course it is the big switch on this week. And there is some news this week. It's been very quiet on Cheshire East of what's going to happen. Well, BBC announced just today that the government has given the council a lot of money for the regeneration due to the closing of HS2. So there's very little information at the moment. And the council is still staying tight-lipped that they would try to get another investor, and in the meantime work with people and possibly have the park, but they've not really said very much. But the fact that we've now got this money off the government, and it was just yesterday that it was announced, might make a bit of difference. We have got all the lights uptown ready for Christmas. A lot of reports have not been very spectacular this time. These like the icicles. Well, I did mention this craft farmer is actually packed up, gone home. Not quite out, because the deal was it was a year free and 5-year contract, so they could be looking at like 20 grand walking away from the contract, so I don't quite know how that's going on. On that far side the brick is still haven't finished, nearly up the top. The other one's done, but they've still got the scaffolding to come down yet. And you can quite distinctly see this, we'll see when it's a roof. Makes sense to put solar panels in that one. Other than that, there's not really anything to show for their efforts this week. It will soon become just internal, there'll be nothing to see because they've got to gas, electric, whatever, CCTV. Well, it's bad news on the Derby Docks play area. We were hoping it was going to be open any time soon, but apparently the rubber base, safety base, has to be done at certain temperatures. It can't be wet, so they're behind because they can't get this base down. It has to be absolutely perfect to get the base down. And it's probably why we've got the same thing at Frank Webb with the zip wire, isn't it? So it could be weeks if they can't get a decent day. Now Goddard Street, this van's been here a couple of days, and so where's the Japanese knotweed? If you've got knotweed and it's on that new building site, it drops the price of the house. It's like a bloody rocket. It takes forever to get rid of the damn stuff. Well, it is starting to get in really wintry. You're looking across now, most of the leaves have gone off the trees. The winter's well on its way. There's odd one or two sort of hanging on, well that's about it. And with Arctic winds and frost and God knows what forecast for next week, it's the last thing we need. Well, the bricky in here does seem to be finished. I think there's one guy wandering about up the top trying to look intelligent, but perhaps the last couple of bricks. And once we get the scaffolding down, they can make a bit of progress on the bus station then. We just heard that the bus station people are not happy because they're getting one toilet, I think they're having, and very, very small offices. So we've still got these gaps here where they're going to put the moss grass or whatever it is they're going to put there. There's a lot of banging and cluttering. We've still got the usual crowd down there. It's one of them days when there's nothing really happening. You can't say, wow, look what they've done today. Well, as some people still messing with the road, which is more or less completed. There's quite a few people pottering about here. There seems to be a lot of rooms in concrete. And of course they're waiting for the big thing, is the scaffolding to come down to finish the rest. But there doesn't seem to be any great activity. People pottering about, and that's about it. Well, Asda have now finished all these spiky things and done the whole site. It seems a bit excessive. It's a bit like bloody Colditz. And nasty looking things. I wouldn't have thought many people were going to jump over the wall and nick a loaf of bread, would you? Now, Beach Street, I spoke before about these 3 houses. It went up quite rapidly and then come to a grinding halt, but we do seem to have some activity. They're digging bloody big holes, so I assume it's to connect the gas. You can see the plates outside, but no actual gas, so whether they've now started to finish the job off